Hello anime lovers, welcome back to this channel in which we talk about what we love. Anyway, in this video we're going to talk about anime which are similar to the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. Well, the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt is a new coming anime series from Yokohama Animation Lab. Aired in winter 2022, this fantasy comedy series is adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Toru Toba and illustrated by Fal Maro. The story will follow a young king with all power he owns. In his attempts to sell the kingdom, this eventually turns around and makes him a genius king. And from several factors, we have chosen some anime which are similar to the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. Here's a video of anime which are similar to Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt you can watch in your leisure time. But before that, don't forget to subscribe this channel and ring the bell to get notifications about our latest video. Enjoy the video! Number 5. Choyoyu. Firstly, we have Choyoyu, or high school prodigies have it easy even in another world. Aired in fall 2019, this series is adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Rikumi Sora and illustrated by Sakaneko, where the story revolves around several high school students as they survive a plane crash and find themselves stranded. It follows 7 high school students who are internationally renowned for their exceptional abilities. One day, they survive a plane crash only to find themselves in a medieval fantasy world called Freygard. Although the series has a fantasy concept in terms of creating a new nation with equal rights and democracy, the series has similarities to the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt series. Number 4. Spirit Chronicles. Aired in summer 2021, this fantasy action series is adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Yuri Kitayama and illustrated by Riff. Haruto Amakawa is a young man who died before he could reunite with his childhood friend. On the other side, Ryo is a boy living in the slums of the Bedtram Kingdom. Those have different backgrounds. Along with Haruto's memories, Ryo awakens special power. When things get complicated, this makes them have to fight for the Bedtram Kingdom. Number 3. Overlord. By using the concept of Kingdom of Sovereign, the Overlord series is probably close to the concept used in the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt series. Although it has a different kind of genre, the Overlord series will present an impressive king from another side. Premiered in summer 2015, it is adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Kugane Maruyama and illustrated by Sobin. Momonga is one of the players in a game called Yggdrasil. Faced with various abnormal situations, in the end, this brought Momonga to supreme power in the great home of Nazarick. Number 2. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Let's go back to a fantasy anime which is quite popular. Like the previous list, this series will present a protagonist who seems powerless in the beginning of the series, but he slowly becomes a terrible figure, both as a ruler or a demon king. Aired in fall 2018, this series is adapted from a Japanese fantasy light novel series written by Fusei. It will follow a slime. With all he has, this slime named Rimuru begins to form an alliance in various other events. These eventually brings him to get the throne of the Demon King. And of course, here's the number 1. How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. In the last list, we have a fantasy action produced by GC Staff, which aired in summer 2021. This series is adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Dochio Maru and illustrated by Fuyuyuki. The series revolves around a young man as he is summoned to another world to become a hero. Katsuya Soruma lived peacefully on Earth. One day, he is summoned to another world and becomes a hero. With several requirements, he is eventually going to help not going to battles, but fixing the kingdom from inside with his knowledge of realism and Machiavellianism. So, those are the list. What do you think? Do you agree? Or you have your own opinion? If you do, write in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. Thank you so much and see you again next time. Bye!